My grandfather and grandmother were married for over 56 years. My grandmother never worked a day in her life. I don't even think she didn't even have a driver's license, but she got everywhere she wanted to go. He always provided for her. Okay. When he passed away, he left her resources that would take care of her the rest of her life. Um, he made provisions. He did small things that I discovered along the way. Like he purchased, and I'll give you context. This is a man probably with, I know he didn't graduate from high school. He probably did sixth grade, no higher than eighth grade education. Okay. He was a sweeper for the city. The sweepers that drive and clean the streets.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, but he didn't live in an apartment. They had a home. He had vehicles. He bought plots for himself and my grandmother and all of his children. So he made provisions that those things were paid for,
Hmm.
right? Um, he always had uh, money, you know, always had money, um, but was very responsible. Some folks would say he was tight, but he wasn't tight. He was organized in his own right, um, but he was very generous to the individuals that he cared about and loved. You just had to crack that code. And I didn't even realize it growing up, and the 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 day that it really clicked for me, um, I was in school. I was in I want to say I was in I was in my fourth year with my grandfather. The code that I cracked was I was I was in college. I can't remember if it was my first year of grad school or whatever, but I needed tires on my car. And um, I needed a ride to go. I needed to drop my car off and need a ride back. My grandfather followed me and take. And I thought I needed um, two tires or whatever, and ended up I needed. I thought I needed one tire, and the guy said you need two. My grandfather said get all four, and he paid for it, a full set
Hmm.
of tires. And that was the first time that I could recall that, because I didn't have the money, that I recall that I either asked him for something or he volunteered for something, because I had never really asked him for anything of that sort. But he said to me, he said, you're doing something to better yourself. I want to help you any way I can. And that was the code.
Hmm. Hmm.
His
That's the code of
code,
life, man.
yeah, that his thing was just do the things you need to do to better yourself, right? And when I look back and look at it, it was like, and look at everything that he did and for various folk, that's what he was trying to do.